Alright, well, this is it. You found your way to start with. Welcome to this page. Welcome to heart content, and especially welcome to this sacred place, or place that should become your sacred place. And as well, welcome to the journey. And I'm grateful and I'm happy you made a first initial step. Whether you've seen some videos online, some short videos on social media, it appeared on your screen, and it appeared on your screen for a reason, and I'm sure about that. I'm here guided and here to guide and lead you towards a life of purpose, a life of living true to your authentic self, being able to live according to your authentic self and your most empowered self, your highest self, and authenticity, because that's the highest vibration you can be on. It's even higher than love, and you hold everything within, and we're just gonna get it out and to the surface. But most of all, you've been here and you've been led to come here because you're most likely in a situation in which you are suffering. You might be dealing with people in your life, and that could be family members, that could be friends, that could be a boss, that could be your boyfriend, girlfriend, life partner, anyone. And you are struggling or in pain, perhaps confused and not sure what to do. Perhaps you actually know that you're dealing with someone that's, for instance, toxic or manipulative, or is lying to you, or is emotional abusive. Perhaps you already deep down know. Most likely what happens when you're dealing with this type of abuse is that you rationalize this behavior because this is how it works. This type of abuse, everything is upside down, and you are made to feel bad about yourself if you speak up for your feelings and your beliefs, things that hurt you, and you're made feel as if there's something wrong with you for addressing anything or bringing anything up. And it can happen in so many ways. By invalidating you, by saying things like it was just a joke after they have hurt you, or bluntly neglecting you, or not acknowledging what you have to say, or making you feel a burden for bringing anything up, for making you feel like over-exaggerating, and in so many other ways that can start manifesting, especially quickly after you enter a love relationship, where they first treat you as their special person, and they show themselves to be angelic and caring and loving, and for you probably the most amazing thing you ever seen. Not long after that, you will notice that they show themselves in a different way, and subtly in a cruel way, in which they, in the opposite of being loving and caring, put you down. Could as well be in front of others, or make you feel bad about yourself, or criticize you, or shame you or making you feel unseen and as if you're doing something wrong. This is all done with an intent to play with your emotions, to make you feel first extremely loved. This is how the emotional hook you, and then by being able to as well make you feel horrible at the same time, they create an environment in which you will start walking on eggshells, start walking on or tiptoeing around them, just to do everything in your power not to get hurt, because you've tried in some cases to perhaps speak up about your feelings and share that they are hurting you, just to resolve things because you want to move forward in a healthy way. You might be devalued for doing so, and now after these things happen, and they will increase more and more over time, they make you even feel worse about bringing anything up, and that's why it's called abuse. And of course it wouldn't be abuse if they would treat you that way and then would apologize for it and being sincere. Now of course they're gonna make you feel bad for bringing it up as well. It's their world upside down, and it's hard to grasp, and that's where the confusion kicks in and the trauma bond as well starts, because you're gonna do a fight every moment to seek validation and to find that person back and to get their approval and see that loving, caring person again. In a very short note, this is how it all starts. How it continues and becomes worse and worse over time is something I'll go in depth with you more and more on the inside, which is important because it's important for you to connect the dots, and it depends a little bit in the situation where you are, and why I start with the very, very beginning of the early signs of this type of abuse. And again, it could be as well within family systems. You can have highly psychological abusive parents, siblings as well. And well, you might feel stressed around them all the time. You might feel that you cannot be yourself 100%. You might feel that you don't dare to speak up for your feelings. You might feel that you do not dare to speak up what you wish for yourself in life, and you're basically always seeking their approval, just to keep things peaceful, to make them not get angry with you, or to make them be kind and loving to you instead of devaluing or giving you a cold treatment or a silent treatment, or these moments where they subtly but in a cruel way make you feel bad about yourself. It could be indirectly as well threatening, to just trying to control you if you would do something you want to do and not what they want you to do. If you feel you're always catering to their needs and tiptoeing around, and you actually get stressed when they come around, and you don't really dare to speak freely, to say what you think, what you feel, what you want, what you need. These are early signs to look for. And I start with these very early signs because it depends on which situation you are. If you're in the midst of a relationship and it has become already worse and worse, which it does over time, and you already feel inside that there's something not right, but you stayed, you never listened to yourself, you never gave yourself permission in the past to acknowledge what's going on. You perhaps rationalized this and their behavior because you want to hold on to some moments in which they were or are nice and loving, and you ignore all the red flags that occur perhaps every day or week, because these are cycles and they love to make you feel loved and happy, but as well to be able to control you and make you feel horrible about yourself. And it's done on purpose for it gives them the ultimate supply, and they thrive on that. And that's what makes it devious, because it's intentional. And yes, even if there are those that might do it unconsciously, but most often they're conscious of it in a certain way. So it's somewhere between that and evil. But it doesn't matter. It's about how it affects you. Then, if you are in that situation and you are just feeling hurt and you feel that stress and you're just trying to get through the day and you already lost your will to do the things that you always love doing. You might not be able to go out with your friends anymore, or simply staying in and you're drained. Just get through the day and try to make sure everything stays peaceful. Early signs. Then as well, I'm explaining this because you might be in a situation that you have actually no clue what's going on, but what I'm saying resonates, and this is how you feel when you are with these people, whether that's family members or your girlfriend, boyfriend, your partner, anyone. Then these are signs to not neglect, but to honor. This is the beginning. If you are dealing with highly psychological abusive family members, unfortunately you have been dealing with this all your life, and you have never been able to truly get free from that yet as well, because you hold this sort of programming within and rationalizing this behavior, yet as well it truly holds you back and limits you in becoming your authentic self, your thriving self, the one that should be living their purpose. And as well, if you're not aware that this is actually psychological abuse or emotional abuse or narcissistic abuse, and again, I just explained the early signs, the basics and the fundamentals of this type of abuse. And even if they seem like small things, over a longer period of time, it has a seriously damaging effect to life, to your mental and physical health. And because it's not true love, and you're not able to express yourself, you're not able to as well grow in the way you want to, and your spirit, your soul wants to. So your soul is being hijacked, and if your soul is not getting the oxygen it needs, you're going to be unhappy and stressed, and it's going to have a toll on your mental health. It causes brain damage and physical stress to your body as well, autoimmune diseases and much worse. The early signs, it's important to understand this, because even if you didn't ever really classify it yet as abuse or narcissistic abuse, then maybe this is for you extremely important as well to pay attention and in a way that you need to become aware of it. And just like me, because I went through this from a young age as a kid, in a highly toxic family system and narcissistic family cult, you can say it like that, where everybody wears a mask and there is no realness, and it's ongoing manipulation and lying and control and emotional psychological abuse, even physical, yet the emotional psychological narcissistic part is the most hidden yet the most damaging. Nobody else around you sees and understands it. So even if you never really classified it, this comes across your screen, and this message is coming and getting to you as well for an important reason as well, when I started to recognize it and see the patterns as well in my later adult life. Because if you hold these things within, and it's an active programming, which unfortunately sounds robotic, but it is true. This is how they program you to be and to hold yourself back and to play small, to cater to their needs, to never speak up, to allow their abuse. And you learn to become, less confident and with high self-doubt in speaking up for yourself, not even coming close to set boundaries, because they actually learned you to that is a bad thing. So for you, in case you never really classified it as abuse, it's important to start paying attention, because if you don't work this through properly, you're going to have a lot of suffering and pain ahead as well in the future and future relationships, and continuously needing to deal with the current people in your life. And that's why I'm here. And then as well, if you already have left a certain relationship because you were in pain and suffering, yet and this is what 99% of the times happens when you do, is that there's so much to resolve. And then as well, depending on how you set yourself up, and if you didn't do that properly with the right steps in the right order, you might be open to a lot of abuse, because once you do make steps, that intensifies. And then as well, the emotions within after leaving all come up and need to be worked through and released. Yet if you're still open to that abuse, you will never get to that point. Most people fall back after leaving, or are confused and continuously thinking about it, not really being able to focus on their way forward of true detachment, and eventually, over a longer period of time, give in and fall back and go back into abusive relationships, or with this active programming within, continue and quickly jump into new relationships and unfortunately attract someone again that's highly nice, psychological, or for instance emotional or narcissistically abusive. How this all works and interrelates, everything will be explained on the inside. And this is why I'm here, because people either never really define what they're dealing with, really understand it, especially once within you cannot really see it. You are covered in a blanket of toxicity, and you're being programmed and groomed to accept this type of behavior, and most of all to feel bad about feeling bad for it, speaking up for it. They unlearn that very quickly, and you feel that that's absolutely not allowed. So they are allowed to abuse you, and then you need to just accept it, because if you just speak up for it, they're going to make you feel bad for speaking up against their bad behavior. So everything is upside down and twisted. Only once you're out and you're truly working through these things, you're going to see it for what it is. You can really connect the dots, which is extremely important for yourself to be able to start moving forward, to make decisions, and as well to stick to those decisions easier, because you can now really see for what it is. But it's a highly delicate and vulnerable process. And especially once you step up and start making moves or showing signs of taking distance or wanting to leave, they're going to up their game. The manipulation will increase and becomes worse, and in many ways they will try to keep you under control. And this can start with seemingly innocent tactics, but if those don't work, it will increase and becomes more severe. And depending if you're truly dealing with sadistic narcissists, family members, partner, or whoever, they can go to extreme lengths to get you back under control and make sure you cannot move forward, and in a way eventually need to come back to them and ask for their help and support, and then everything starts over again. And because this is such a hidden way of abuse, and really comes to surface when you start making steps, and it's actually a good thing, because then you will show and see their true selves, and their fake pretending pretense of unconditional love is a lie, because everything is a contract and conditional. you need to behave and be controlled in a certain way. In exchange, you get some approval and validation, and that's not love. True love is when they allow you to grow and expand and elevate and be and become any person and do anything or become the person you want to be. This is a total opposite of love. This is 100% control, and it's far from human. Most of all, again, I'm not gonna continue too long because everything will provide it on the inside. It's so hard to define, even for yourself, that you're actually in a dangerous situation and that you are abused in a way that's extremely hidden. Therefore, you don't notice it, and if you stay in too long, I mean, the harder you stay in, the harder it becomes to get out, and the harder it becomes to eventually as well get through this and create that authentic life which you're supposed to be living. And you're basically kept away from that by their abuse and their manipulation and their tactics and control tactics to keep you where you are. I often mention this, it's like a frog in the pan, slowly cooked until in a way becomes comfortable, yet slowly drains its complete energy and eventually dies. And it's too late to jump out. Now, many often stay stuck, often a lifetime, often unconsciously even leave this world or seriously become ill because of this type of abuse. And even what I explained in the beginning seems relatively small. These things pile up over time. And most of all, the abuse becomes worse, and you're basically as well not living. Then there's something that you are here to serve a purpose in this life and shining your light, and you will find that purpose along the way. And most importantly to understand is that because of this type of abuse, which is so hidden often, it's better to be hit, because a bruise can tell a story and shows evidence. But this type of abuse, which they are very well capable of hiding, because these manipulative people are extremely skilled in presenting them to the outside world as amazing, good-hearted, hardworking people. This is a mask they need to hold on to. Even you leaving would show that there might be something wrong with them, so you would become the most selfish person in their eyes, but as well the most disrespectful person in their eyes, even if you've tried everything to resolve things and to improve the relationship, to get it somewhere, but the drama and the pain continues. Boundaries were not accepted in case you've tried to set them with these types of people, which is not, it's with healthy people it's easy and it works, but with these type of people it's next level. That's a different area and topic we will go through. If you join, which you need to, not only should you need to listen to your intuition, your gut, move in faith, because this is your life and your mental health, your physical health. People seriously get ill. The stress that piles up over the years affects your nervous system and causes autoimmune diseases and everything related. It causes brain damage. And mostly because it's so hidden as well for your environment, people are often not aware. It's extremely hard to find support, and it's extremely challenging to find as well, for instance, a life coach or a therapist that has experienced this themselves, because that's necessary to truly understand this. Extremely delicate is actually too fancy word for it, but this devious kind of abuse. And yes, someone that has experienced it will understand you. And in combination, of course, with having specialized on it and educated themselves on it sufficiently to be able to guide you through. And then it's hard to find someone that you can trust or have a good personal connection with. And most of all, the most important thing is it's hard to find someone that can be with you and guide you really every step on the way, ongoingly, because that's what you need. It's extremely hard to find someone that can provide you guidance and support, even if they have the knowledge and experience, to have the time to guide and support you ongoingly, instead of maybe perhaps just 1 hour in a week, which is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it, because you will even afterwards go home, whether you're still within the relation or you already have left, and you might be struggling, because after leaving a lot happens and a lot comes up, and the confusion is still there, and you might confuse everything and the pain that you still carry of still feeling love for this person, and eventually people return. Depends as well how the abusive people in your life respond to you leaving. Everything will be taken care of once you join, but it's therefore as well, even when you have, it's crucial for yourself to define what you're dealing with, to connect the dots for yourself, to make decisions, even if you already have left and you're still struggling and in doubt. And because this is what happens, everything that's projected onto you, even for leaving, even when they try to love bomb you back in, and they want to make you believe, and they promise to change, and they do all these kind of things, and they suddenly show to be the person you always wanted them to be. These are all tactics, and if that doesn't work, they're gonna make you feel terrible and feeling ashamed and guilty for leaving, for destroying their life, everything to get you back under control. And if that doesn't work, they're gonna work their way through other people to get to you, or just hinder you to be able to move forward. Everything eventually comes to surface once you stick to your way forward, and this is what needs to happen. Yet, because even when you step up and you make steps and you try to detach or leave, you are in such a vulnerable space. The trauma bond is still active. One of the first things we're going to go into, and I coach and guide as well in a very digestible way, explain you all the concepts and everything of this type of abuse and how it interrelates and how it works, so you can see it and recognize it, as well how it affects you, so you can understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, so you can as well understand that it's not you and it's a programming, and there's basically nothing wrong with you, but that there's some things that we need to work through. Yet if you're out on there on your own, trying to figure it out on your own, you're going to skip steps, and unfortunately with skipping steps in this case, you're going to be open and susceptible to this abuse, or not be able to move forward, and that keeps you in a dangerous, vulnerable spot and place to be. Falling back means, for instance, not being able to move forward. Falling back means eventually, for instance, returning to the abusive people in your life, or abusive person in your life, because perhaps they were able to convince you to come back again, or you felt, because you felt worse after first, you convinced yourself to go back. And this happens in so many cases, and then it all starts over again. And even if they seem a little bit nicer and better in the beginning, they're just gonna up their game. Their manipulation becomes harder to detect. They're gonna make it even harder for you to leave a second time, and you only have one health, one vessel, and so much energy, and at a certain point it's gonna be done. And this is why every time falling back can be perhaps the last time that you were able to really leave, and perhaps the last time that you successfully can make those steps, and some eventually never truly are able to leave. I'm not even talking about creating that authentic life for themselves. This is all not to scare you, yet I'm here as well, honest, transparent, and just sharing how things are. I didn't have the guidance and support. It wasn't available back in the day. I'm not patting myself on the shoulder here. Yet I need to go through trial and error. I've seen the abuse from all angles, from a young age, later on, through all the phases when I started stepping up, setting boundaries, exposing, seeing it from all angles. Then family members, I as well continued and repeated certain cycles later on in romantic relationship, and everything eventually came together. And I carried a certain programming with me as well, in case you are as well an overly loyal, kind, good-hearted person that is groomed to play small and always fix people, and you are easy target for people to take, or when you are someone with a bright light, they like to just dim your light as well. Many different types of narcissistic individuals, for instance, or highly psychological abusive people. Not necessarily need to go into it. Almost 30 minutes in, I'm going to try to keep it not too long. Again, I did it through trial and error. Sometimes I'm still wondering how I got through, but I was guided. I was really guided, and the strength that I got was not my own, and it's been an incredible journey. Yet I don't advise it, because it really can not end well, and I know why I needed to go through this and see everything and experience everything, because I found my purpose along the way, same as you will when you start this journey. And mine is, and I knew that pretty quickly, one point when I'm on the other side and through, I'm gonna guide other people to get out and get through and deliver you to the other side. And that's my destiny, that's my purpose, and that's why I'm here. And therefore I'm here to provide you the path, because again, finding the support and guidance is extremely hard, and even if you find someone that potentially has ability to coach you, that can be as well very expensive. Often many and most don't have these resources, especially if you're dependent on these abusive people in your life, which they often like to keep you in that spot. Important part as well, because keeping you under control as well will try to keep you financially under control. Even if you try to move forward after leaving, they will try to gain you back under control as well by, well, if they can get you in financial trouble or even legal trouble. Then we're talking about the more vindictive type of psychological abusive people, but trust me, they're there. And as well in family systems. I'm just here telling how it is. Again, all those reasons, yet once you are experiencing this, when you're in this, it's crucial for you to get a first grip and define what you're dealing with, because I need to get you moving. You're in danger, you're not in safe place, and your life is at risk, and you are supposed to live your authentic life, because you will find your purpose along the way when you start this journey as well, and so much more. Yet first things first is to get you through, out into safety, find your peace and sanity, and through a healing phase as well. And then after, we're going to start creating an authentic self and life. Tools, exercises, repetition, immersion, practice. So at a certain point, you have everything in your pocket, and you don't need courses anymore. You don't need to go to seminars or therapies or anything. You can fly out on your own and navigate through life. But we need to do this together, and this is a journey. And the program, the curriculum, to get you through the phases and provide you with the guidance you need, and including the tools and the exercises and the practice to get through the required phases, is going to be at least 4 months. I cannot pinpoint exactly, but this is what I estimate it to be, to get through the stages. And of course, if you blindly follow them exactly, you can do it in that time, but you might need a little bit longer. Still, that's going to be a lot faster than, for instance, I did. I've been on a journey for 7 years of getting through and figuring it all out, and being able to detach and really getting through and develop my authentic self and life, still in progress. Yet, I have not seen anything like this out there, and I know how vulnerable it is and how delicate this process is. Searching for information on YouTube can provide some short-term relief, yet there's so much out there, it's overwhelming. Some advice is great, some advice is poor, some advice is bad. Some advice has its place but is not applicable to you in your situation. Therefore, I work with a lot of scenarios, situational based, so you can know and what is applicable to you. But mostly this will be a path where I'm going to provide you the steps so you can walk this journey and take the steps in the right order, so you don't have to do the trial and error with the risks of falling back, which you will when you try and figure this out on your own. I wouldn't mind if you would not be at risk so much, but because you are, I am going to nudge you, I'm going to push you a little bit, because you are not in safety. And falling back or staying stuck means that it might not eventually end well for you. Not to scare you, this is reality. Don't worry, you have a path here as of today, you have a path, and this journey is designed in a way so you can, through, let's say, 4 phases, where we start with the really knowledge, awareness, and understanding phase. And I'm going to make it simple and digestible. All the information out there sometimes way too complex. I'm going to make it very digestible so you can look at your situation. I'm going to look at it one more time in case you already have been searching and going out on the internet for a long time, and did as well in the past. And sometimes people remain stuck like that for years, and just soaking up information but not really taking action. Sometimes there's so much, it's overwhelming and you don't even know what to do anymore. I'm going to go through all the concepts, how it works, how it interrelates, and how it especially affects you as well. And so you can give things a place, you can easily reflect on your situation. I'm going to do some reflection, and I'm going to be guiding you on that as well. But you're going to be easily able to define what you're dealing with. And then you can make a decision, and you can move forward. And instead of me just telling you what to do, I want you as well to really be able to make your own decision in that part, because that way it can take much longer. Because on this journey, of course, you might have a vulnerable day or days as well, and then a decision made from within as well. It takes longer, and everything that supports you in accelerating your way forward. And this will help you to be able to give things a place and release. Then we're going to move forward in a detachment phase, and there's a lot to cover in that as well. But it includes, for instance, how you set yourself up mentally, physically, practically, and everything that needs to be covered as well for your way forward. And what you need to be aware of on your end from within as well, but as well from the abuser and abusive people's side, as well to how you set yourself up. Again, everything you need to cover to be able to focus on yourself. Once you start making steps, everything will be done to try to get your focus back on the abusive people in your life. Not only they will try, but as well the internal program that's active within you, trauma bond, and everything that is being projected onto you by these people will try to get you back to that place. And this is as well, your brain naturally always wants to get you back into old patterns, keep you where you were. And anything new is something scary, and it wants to avoid that. And in this case, especially in this case, when there's a lot of fear already involved, your confidence is low, you have a lot of self-doubt, especially depending on how long you have been in. And even after you left, this controls you. You need to work through those things as well. Limiting beliefs, change them into empowering beliefs. And you're going to get all the tools and everything you need to be able to, first of all, give things a place, because this whole cocktail of emotions, there can be still love for your abuser, but as well, there can be anger, resentment, remorse, grief, so much. And we need to first get that out of your system and deprogram the programming that has been projected onto you, and that's active, because while that's still active, you cannot really see and open up to the good stuff. That's why once you're still in, or you're dealing with this, or you're still dealing with the effects of it, even after you have left, you cannot really see a path through. You're often still thinking about it, still confused, not sure if you made the right decision, or if you should leave or not, and that's why people as well stay in, and your brain is going to try to find all the good stuff and remind you about the good stuff, which is only maybe 1%, and neglects the 99% that was horrible or cruel or abusive. And while anything is still active from that, you cannot really see and feel or believe in any path forward and open up to, for instance, the good and people that are truly caring and loving. There's a lot we need to shift first, and once that happens, then you can open up. And with the tools and exercises you're getting as well, which you will be practice, you're going to make your own blueprint, which is going to be, after working with it, and this is what the key of this is, not just knowledge, but with practice and repetition and immersion as well, to embody it, so things becomes your second nature, including the boundary setting, including the uncomfortable action, which is part of it. But I'm here with you along the way, and then everything will open up to you, and you'll be able to navigate in a way that you easily repel toxic situations or people or manipulative people, and you will energetically immediately feel it. A lot of energy work is going to be involved here as well during the healing phase, which will be the following, which we go as well through techniques and exercise to calm down your nervous system, to release, and as well to be able to sufficiently heal. And then you will start to notice you're going to be able to open up to a new life, and with ongoing guidance and support in that phase as well, we're going to move into more the authentic living part and shifting identity, shifting beliefs, work on defining your purpose. And with the tool, a very powerful tool as well, you'll be able to work with yourself in a way which you can apply to every situation in your life, which you will be able to make decisions and everything that aligns with your true authentic self, your true authentic values, and everything will be worked on. And from that point, you are able to fly out and continue, and you're past that. Doing this one time right, and I'm going to close off, but doing this one time right is crucial. It might take a little while. I'm so sorry it's not a press on a button. I wish it was, and I wish I could give that to you. It's not, but I'm here at least to provide you a journey to do this one time right. And with doing it one time right, I mean the way you do this, you make all the difference between either for just trying and falling back and remaining stuck for more years to follow, or falling back into abusive cycles again, which happens. And this can delay your way forward for years. Sometimes people stay stuck for a lifetime and not ever able to create that authentic life. And doing this one time right will allow you to, instead of experiencing that, because you don't have to, but you will experience this when you will try this on your own. And because it's such a vulnerable process, and you cannot know all the steps, and you are truly at risk, and so many underestimate it. And I don't want it to become in any way to a point that it's almost too late. You don't have to experience this. We're going to trade all that potential suffering into doing this one time right, even if it's a few months, but then you can actually gain years back living that authentic life. If you're going to struggle and roam around, dabble around on your own, that's gonna take a long time. And you don't have to be, for instance, like me, spending seven years. That's still how I got through sometimes. Again, I was guided, and I'm so grateful I'm here. I'm so grateful I'm here now to give back, and I'm so grateful you are here. I'm so happy you're here. This is what's pain in my heart to see anyone suffer, and I know how many do, and I see many do, and I know I can give and provide them the journey. And for you as well, in case you know other people that are suffering like this, let them jump in as well. I'm here as well to make sure that getting or potentially leaving no one behind, because we have a collective as well to take responsible as a collective to shed light on this planet and the dark corners of this earth. But most of all, it's about you now, and I want you to give yourself the permission and give yourself and allow yourself to do this one time right. Even if you tried many things before, even if you have given up, even if you've fallen back, and perhaps back into the abusive situation again, gather your strength, don't give up. Do this one time right. Even if you have left and you're still struggling and confused and in pain, and you're going back and forth in your mind and not sure what to do, and you might thinking about returning, or you're not sure, or you're thinking about breaking the no contact and opening up again. Until you do, right now, if it comes across your screen, wait, don't do anything yet. Do this first and then decide. Alright? And this is most important, that you step in, and it might seem a lot, but I promise you, once you start, when you're in, time goes by like this. Especially because if you take the right steps in the right order, you will immediately feel the difference. You will start feeling the difference in energy. You will start feeling the difference in motivation. And I'm just going to ask you to start with 30 minutes a day. But eventually, if you follow through with the right steps in the right order, your growth will be like this. Exponential, not this. And everything works hand in hand. And even if you are in the beginning a bit reluctant or afraid, for instance, to take certain steps, that's okay. But I'm here with you to guide you through on those. And I mean, if you wait with those steps, yes, you're delaying your progress, but you will feel that as well. And eventually you're going to take that step. And then afterwards you're going to feel so much better. And you're going to be proud of yourself. And those are little moments to celebrate as well. And I'm here as well, and on this way, I'm going to promise you that this process will become your process of happiness and of smiles as well. And it's right now just a matter of getting started. It's a matter of taking a first step and trusting the process, and that everything will flow forward automatically from there. And you have the guidance and support, and I will be here with you as well daily to nudge you, to guide you, to remind you, to keep you on track. And beginnings are always the hardest. You'll get there. Just acknowledge this is just necessary. Do this one time right. So even if this is the first time that you're really listening in and you're discovering that you might be dealing with psychological or narcissistic abuse, step in to really understand and learn what you're dealing with. And I'll go through the phases as well, because there's so much that you're going to gain and grow and develop yourself into. And well, I truly believe that even if you're not sure what you're dealing with, this or my previous short videos online have come to your screen for a reason, and this is your moment as well to step in. This is as well a moment if you have in the past neglected yourself and did not step in while you actually knew that you needed to make change, but perhaps you didn't know how, perhaps you didn't know what to do, because when you're dealing with this type of abuse, trying to find your own way through and out is overwhelming. Your brain shuts down and you give up immediately, and you're also drained and tired and exhausting, and thinking about the situation and these abusive people is already draining enough. That's why we're going to look at it one more time. I'm going to make it very digestible, very easy to understand how it all interrelates and connects and affects you. And then that's the last time we're really going to look at that part. And then we're going to look in the direction you need to go. So you as well will be able to define what you're dealing with and make a decision. It's about moving away from looking at that part that's so draining. It's literally thinking about the abusive person, people, and you don't perhaps recognize that right now when you're in, or you have been dealing with this and you're still struggling. but that's actually the most draining part. And we're going to move towards the fix and getting you through the phases and the stages, working on yourself and getting the focus back on you. And that's going to make all the difference. I'm doing this one time right. Knowing a phone number by head, but dialing in the wrong order, you're not going to reach that person. Same with this, even if you have the right steps, but you put them at the wrong order, you're not going to get to where you want to go. So, right now, you have a path and a journey right here with the right steps in the right order, and with the repetition and the ongoing guidance you need, and the immersion to get through. Not just through and past this type of abuse, find your peace and sanity and freedom, but as well to create that authentic life, to create that most empowered life, in which you can be you, and you can be expanding and growing and elevating in any direction you wish, and surround yourself with the people eventually that you wish to attract in your life, and mostly to be able to as well live your dreams. Maybe even more important, to define your purpose, which you will, that will come to you on this journey. And once you get into that phase, create an authentic life, I'm gonna try to finish here. Again, if there's still any hesitation, if there's, every beginning is new, you might have not allowed yourself in the beginning, or before, or earlier, or in the past. This time, do something different. That's where it all can happen, and the true breakthrough and transformation will follow. Just follow the steps, 30 minutes a day. Sign in, sign up. The only thing I'm asking, and I'm going to make it as accessible as possible, is to make a donation according to what you can afford, what you feel its value to you, and what you simply feel comfortable contributing for yourself. Sow a seed, as well for others, and for this journey. I cannot make everybody happy, but I'm taking away every possible barrier to make this reality for you, for yourself, and many others. And in the case that there's still hesitation, you don't have to decide now. It's about just try. Because if you're, for whatever reason, after 1 month, you don't like what we're doing here, what you're getting here, or any other reason, having a bad day, or just perhaps you find a different path, or maybe because the videos are not top-notch quality, whatever it is, I want everybody to be happy. But if for every reason you're not, after 30 days, just send me a message for a refund. I'm happy to refund you. I want everyone to be happy, but most importantly, I want to take any possible barrier away from my end to, on my end, that might hinder you from stepping in. And I know it's the first time, it's all about trust as well, but you have an opportunity to step in and try, but also follow on the inside. And with that said, perhaps it's the moment to close your eyes. Breathe. And breathe again, in and out. And just think about the person you would like to become. Think about the person you actually know that you are. Think about a place you would like to go, or you would like to be. And again, think about the person you would like to be and become in the future, and where you would want to go. Look at it, smile at it, and breathe in again, and breathe out. And this time, even if you feel that slightly, because you might be in a deep situation right now, and that means your intuition is, well, covered. And in that case, I'm going to ask you to take a moment and act in faith, and perhaps counterintuitively do something different than before. Even if you feel this slightly, this is your nudge to step in. I promise you're going to feel better after. And mostly, I'll be waiting, but very happy and proud. I want to see you on the inside. Let's go. All right, bye-bye.